Homeowners want more storage space without adding more rooms. You're about to create more usable space with a quality stairway that is secure and easy to raise and lower. Built of extruded aluminum and steel brackets, the automated SafeStairway system is an ideal way to expand both home usability and value. In this video, we'll show you the steps for assembling and installing the SafeStairway system. So let's begin. Before you begin, you should do a complete pre-check inspection to ensure proper placement and access to your SafeStairway system. Refer to the installation charts and instructions found in the installation guide. This includes laying out the opening for the stairway system you will be installing, ensuring ample room at the top and bottom of the stairway. Make sure the structure the stairway will be attached to is adequate to support the added load of the stairway along with anything else that will be stored on it. Make sure that there is adequate clearance at the top of the stairway for the pivot drive lever and handrail assembly. The stairway is designed to fit between standard 24-inch center truss systems. Always check with local codes for any special requirements. Some areas require a fire-rated brushed steel system, which can be purchased as an option. Lay out the modular sections in order of the assembly, starting with the top stair section. Attach the backer plate and drive lever to the top stair section. Bolt the connector plates between each of the modular stair sections. Assemble the bottom step unit to the bottom module. Mount the leveling screws to the side frame of the bottom step unit. Attach the bottom step unit to the lower stairway section. Once all the sections are attached and aligned, tighten all the bolts securely. Attach the handrail base brackets using the two bolt hole mountings located on the side frames. The handrail will be installed later and can be attached to either side of the stairway. Rotate the stairway assembly bottom side up on supports and insert any insulation or bottom covering material. Mount side covering panels using self-tapping screws or pop rivets. Raise the pivot end of the stairway into the pivot end of the opening. Allow at least a foot of stairway to be above the upper floor level. Secure the stairway at the top and bottom to hold it in position using a rope or cable attached to secure structures in the upper area. Install the centering shaft collar locks over the pivot axle on both sides of the stairway. Insert driven pivot bracket and non-driven pivot axle brackets through the stairway pivot hole. Brackets should extend along the side of the stairway opening. Once the pivot brackets are in place, lower the stairway into the opening, allowing the pivot brackets to rest on the upper floor on each side of the stairway. Position the stairway to allow free pivot movement along the entire length of the unit. Allow ample room at the pivot end to ensure proper clearance when the stairway is raised to the upper position. Anchor the driven pivot brackets with one screw in the slotted hole located in the middle of the non-driven pivot bracket. Manually raise and adjust stairway to center it in the opening. Make sure it doesn't bind or hit the edges of the opening. Once it is centered and in the up position, anchor the remaining pivot bracket screws to the top brackets. Mount the actuator pivot end to the pivot drive bracket using the pivot bolt with a spring-in retainer. Mount the clevis end of the actuator to the drive lever pivot hole. This may require manually moving the actuator rod in and out using the manual override screw on the body of the actuator. Secure the clevis link with a 1/2-inch pivot bolt and lock pin. Locate the power converter in a convenient area, either in the upper or lower level near a switched 11-volt AC outlet. The switch for this outlet can be located near the switch operator. Connect a power cord from the actuator power terminals to the 12 VDE side of the power converter, making sure polarity for the DC control line is correct for the raise and lower operations. Position the stairway in the opening to allow free pivot movement the entire length of the stairway. Connect the up-down control wires to the key switch operator. This should be mounted in the lower level, near to and within eyesight of the stairway unit. This is a momentary switch with a removable key to ensure safety and security. Mount the curved handrail section into the top handrail base bracket. Mount the vertical handrail tube into the middle handrail base brackets along with the T-connectors in the top end of the vertical tubes. Work your way down the stairway connecting the straight section tubes together but not screwing them into position. Some lengths of tube may need to be cut to fit the given length. The bottom section will be another curved piece that will mount into the last T-connector and the bottom handrail base bracket. When the handrail is in place, attach the tube to the base brackets and T-connectors using the screws provided. Make sure all connections are secure and all mechanical fastenings are tight. Make sure the stairway is clear of any objects in the travel path and that the pivot path and stairway are clear of any tools and materials. Turn on the power to the power converter. Move the key switch operator to the raise position and make sure the stairway is operating within the center of the opening. Release the switch when the stairway is parallel to the upper ceiling. Move the key switch to the lower position and make sure the stairway is not touching the sides or ends of the ceiling opening. Release the switch when the unit reaches the lower position. Note that if the unit is out of alignment, you may need to readjust the top pivot brackets or recenter the stairway in the opening. After the unit has been successfully cycled, bring it to the lower position. Tighten the centering shaft collar locks on the pivot axle. This will secure the stairway from side shifting on the axle. That's it. You've successfully assembled and installed your quality-built, easy-to-use SafeStairway system.